Hey everyone! After getting max defense yesterday, now comes the fun part. Today we picked up heavy choppas, maxed those out, got the meat shield guy, and now the strongest one at 7 ER, that's Zookfan. So good thing is, they're already maxed out, so just gotta unlock it. And there is a pretty big bug when you first unlock these leaders. Like we'll show what happens when we just unlock the meat shield guy. Basically when you go into a hit, and you try to change from a normal heavy to a leader, there's just no option. So it kinda sucks that if you're super excited to get the leaders and go in for a match without changing it before, then you kinda see nothing. So going back to here, we did get the Zook fan. The way to fix that is you gotta make sure you got the leaders before you even go into a match. So here we'll get the meat shield guy, tells us that he has a squad flare or whatever, and we'll get the Zook fan. Even if we're not gonna use both of them, better have it before you go into a match, just in case you do. Otherwise, we're running this space here, hopefully defending some secret players. That's a main annoying threat for the next few days, but we'll try it a few hits. But we should hopefully see how strong the new leaders are. Like, I think heavy choppas might be an okay push point. It is a better meat shield than just heavies. But these leaders, just the fact that you can have a separate squad flare and just do so much. So this space, when it's kind of spread out and there's only one engine here, you can try using critters for that ER. Like maybe one barrage to clear some mines, a few critters, and even a shield for that mortar. Because now we have 100 GB, so it's quite a bit. Otherwise, taking maybe 2 HCs, 4 bombers. But if you want to be a bit safer, you can do 3 HCs, 3 bombers. And then maybe Sparky on, let's say, one side, still using her critter stuff, and the squad leaders on the far right. So we can go ahead and do a flare on one building. Let's do 1 HC, 1 bomber. And just waiting until we see some shots in the air. Then 2 more HCs, 2 more bombers, and get the 2 heavies out. I think Sparky's better on the left side. And once all the heavies are out, then he's charging the squad flares. I like going on some building on that side, so here we can choose a flame. And now it's just about shocking critter launchers and clearing some mines. You only want to clear them with a barrage because, well, you're saving critters for that one ER. This one, maybe you don't have to shock just yet. Just one on that critter launcher, shock launcher. Otherwise we have an HC dying, so making sure everything's alive. But the bombers are kind of spreading out, which is good. In fact, we can use a Zook fan to target that critter launcher. That's a good thing about squad flares. Your other troops can do whatever, and you can have the Zook fan do its own thing. So we'll let the micro die, do like 4 critters and then 1 shock with a shield. Because we do have so much GB. 1 more shock and then machine gun. And these ERs are dying pretty fast. So we can even do 1 more shield and shock the machine gun again. Otherwise the Zook fan gets that ER. In a base like this, everything's spread out, getting like a 235 time. Just the squad leaders alone doing almost all the work. And I guess it might be a bit more complicated than normal bomber hits, but since we see this space so often, we could break it down. The one thing is just using squad leaders to take out a few engines that are further from your main troops. They're doing like 3 HCs and 3 bombers right here. I like Sparky on the left side for that grappler. And they're gonna clear a bunch of this stuff, so don't really gotta worry about. And then you go ahead, do your 2 squad leaders, and then just flare this side. Like we targeted that one flame, and once they're there, they can clear a bunch of stuff. The meat shield guy has like more tanking than even a heavy chopper. And the Zook fan is like a boat of bombers with as much health as a heavy. And like you saw, we really only shocked the critter launchers, once over here, once on this side. And if that one's more annoying, then you can just use a Zook fan to squad flare onto it. Otherwise, the goal of the squad leaders is really just to get those 2 engines. And you save up so much GB that you can barrage out those mines, and then just critter out this ER. We had so much GB, we could do 4 critters, I think like 3 shocks, 2 shields. So if there's only 1 engine on that side, you can hit it like this. And I think all these squad flares, well, it's different enough that not like the same old HC bomber hits, but still a little bit simple because you're only doing a few extra flares. Here we got a seeker guy. no building damage, and he's got like no boom cannons and stuff. But we can still use the squad leaders to try to get a super fast time. So maybe use the leaders for a bunch of ERs over here, and otherwise do like maybe even normal heavies and bombers. Normal heavies because they cost less GB. So do something like 2 leaders on that side, and then 1 heavy, 2 bombers on either side. Maybe Sparky, let's say, on the left, and then start moving the leaders on that side. We can try to use them to get maybe 2 engines and even critter out another one. We'll try barraging out a few mines right here, start shocking that shock launcher, and in fact just target that micro directly. Do like, let's say, 3 critters and then 2 more shocks, getting the machine guns and that shock launcher. We'll go ahead and use a Zugfan for that ER, because even though there's a shield, don't even got to worry about. Using the squad flare, you can bypass that shield. And once that top ER dies, you can use a squad flare to bring him back to the bottom one. Do a few more critters right here. And it gets to the flare, but I think the bombers are lagging behind. But now on secret bases, we can get like 3-minute time, so even if they do finish, maybe it's still a win. And right now we're still using Sparky for the most part, which maybe we can think about another hero, because she is still okay with using her critters, but maybe even something like using Brick once we got troop health, really speed up the squad leaders. Guess Kavan could make sense too, but he does need a lot of GB for second wins, and you don't really need to add more heavies. Here we got this kind of base, so back to using those leaders. This one we can do like 2 HCs, 3 bombers on the right side, 1 bomber delay just getting a bunch of this stuff, that engine, and then use the leaders on the far left side. Still using Sparky's Critter Swarm, and just starting off like this. 2 HCs, Sparky, then we'll do the 3 bombers, 1 more on this side, and then the 2 leaders. Good thing about Crystal Shield is you can just do 1 right here, protect from that mortar shot, and otherwise just watch this side. That grappler is going to be a bit annoying, so we can delay the shock just a bit, and then start these leaders on this side, shocking that grappler. And the main threat on almost all these bases is just the critter launchers. So shocking the right one, same with the left. And I guess we'll do 1 more shock on this side. Now looking at the right, start shocking the other critter launcher. And it's pretty much a main threat on all these bases. And here we can start using the meat shield guy, flaring onto that ER. 1 more shock on that critter launcher. Because the meat shield guy already does almost no damage, and if you move him early then he can clear some mines. He can clear some more mines with normal critters, like the 7th or 8th shock on the critter launcher, and then still let these guys go. The left ER is down, the Zugfan doing some good work, and maybe in just a few seconds start flaring. We got the right ER, left one going down, and then maybe just a bunch of critters. Even got the Zugfan still alive. So kind of like the other hit, aiming for like 230, 235 times, and getting that win. And on this base, again, all we did was 2 HCs, 3 bombers, Sparky on that side, 1 bomber here with, I think just 1 shield and then forget it. And the only 2 things you have to worry about in the hit is shocking all the critter launchers, like 10-20 times, and then using the squad leaders to stay on the left. So we can pinpoint any building, but we can also do the ground. And at least initially doing like a couple shocks in the grappler or critter launcher. Otherwise let these guys go. And once the left engine goes down, you can move the squad leaders for the other one. Even bypassing snipers, rockets, cause don't really care. And I'm sure we'll do a lot more hits with these squad leaders, cause still have over a week to go in the season. But for today I think we're okay right here. The next steps is getting that troop health, should really help out on heavy choppas, bombers surviving more mines, but especially our squad leaders just surviving even longer. And after troop health, not really sure yet, because we almost have every single offense. Maybe we can pick up that bomber boost, and see if another hero is worth it. Like whether it's going to be Kavan or even Brick. Hopefully for most people, it shouldn't matter since it's such a cheap tree. But that's gonna be it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.